Canada is going to give more money to Ukraine. This is all getting so old. We'll take a look at this meeting between Carney and Zelensky. Then I asked AI how many doctors could be hired with the money that we're now giving to Ukraine. Just this tranche of money, by the way, because as you're probably aware, maybe not, but an Edmonton man died in the emergency room just a few days before Christmas. Canada has its own problems. This is so beyond frustrating that we keep doing this, not just with Ukraine, but just foreign aid in general. I'm going to move a little bit ahead because Carney's talking in French, which he's not the leader of France. I don't really understand why he starts the meeting off in French, but whatever.
Under President Zelensky's leadership, we have the conditions, the possibility of a just and lasting peace. But that requires a willing Russia. And the barbarism that we saw overnight, the attack on Kyiv, shows just how important it is that we stand with Ukraine during this difficult time, and that we create the conditions for this just and lasting peace and a true reconstruction. And I want to underscore something that has happened in recent weeks, is that the development of that possibility under your leadership, and also the prospect of true prosperity for the Ukrainian people. I'll just finish with one point on Canada. We've provided military assistance, further military assistance. We're announcing today further economic assistance for Ukraine, $2.5 billion worth of economic assistance that helps unlock financing from the...
Canada cannot afford this. Canada keeps acting like a rich country. At least America still has a growing economy. Like if you're an American and you watch your taxpayer dollars go to Ukraine, I'm sure like it's the same thing. I'm sure you're not thrilled about it because the war keeps going on. And I really believe that it was on Zelensky. It's been on Zelensky for a while to end this thing. He's constant going around to every country in the Western world asking for money is totally ridiculous at this point. It was even ridiculous before, but it's even more so now. Like, there's enough land in Ukraine, Russia, in that area for everybody to live. Just continue to send young men to die and continue to go around raising money. Ukraine, by the way, is a historically corrupt country. I'm not going to claim to be an expert on like Ukraine corruption. But this whole thing is totally insane. And then Canada pretending like it's got the money to even be doing this is insane. And again, that money that Canada gives doesn't just fall from the sky. That's taxpayer money. And Canada has had a flat economy too. Like this makes no sense. It's so frustrating on so many different levels. There's so many problems in Canada. So many people here could use a little bit of that $2.5 billion to improve their lives. Yet just because Ukraine can't find a way to end the war, all these countries keep piling taxpayer dollars into Ukraine. It's fucking bullshit.
IMF, from the World Bank, from the European Bank for Reconstruction and Development, to begin this process of rebuilding. We have an important bilateral meeting, and then...
I just want to play when he says this about unlocking more money here.
Ukraine, $2.5 billion worth of economic assistance that helps unlock financing from the IMF, from the World Bank, from the European Bank for Reconstruction.
What the hell does that mean? It unlocks more money. What a racket. Obviously, like, what the fuck? That just obviously looks like all these very rich, powerful people in positions of power set these insane rules. Oh, we give more money of taxpayer dollars to Ukraine and more stuff gets unlocked from the IMF. What a joke. Like, it's so insulting to the intelligence of everybody. What are these rules? Just end the war, man.
And development. To begin this process of rebuilding. We have an important bilateral meeting and then a meeting virtually with our colleagues from the Coalition of the Willing. Il y aura une réunion bilatérale et puis une réunion de la Coalition de Volonté. Et nous sommes maintenant, point final, d'une négociation très importante avec Monsieur le Président.
Okay, if he's gonna just talk in French, I'm gonna skip ahead a little bit.
Thank you for having us. Dear Mark, Prime Minister, dear journalists, dear Canada, thank you for your support, first of all. And thanks for your the words that you mentioned about this tonight attack. It was really very difficult, hard attack. Russia launched more than 500 drones and dozens of missiles. And thanks for air defense of our partner. That's not enough. And this attack is again Russia's answer on our peace efforts, and it's really it shows that Putin doesn't want peace, and we want peace. And
This is so insane, man. This is getting so old. This guy coming around and saying that. Just, you got to deal with the country that you have. You're not as powerful as Russia. You're not in You're not in NATO. So this guy is getting so ridiculous. He already was like years ago, but every Western country seems to continue to fall for this crap. Like, I don't think, it doesn't seem like Ukrainians or Russians want to end this war.
The man of war, but he afraid to speak about publicly. But we see the steps, and what we need to stop this war in any way. And we need two things: pressure on Russia and
with what money? With all of our money, we need to put pressure on Russia with taxpayer money from everybody else.
Efficient, strong support for Ukraine. We'll speak about it. We will speak about air defense, and it's really last weeks we had good steps in diplomacy, but we can't live in illusion that it gives us possibility to have less air defense. With Russia, it doesn't work. So thank you very much, Mark, for this meeting. We will have bilateral, and as you said, we will join our European friends. And tomorrow I will have, I hope, very important and very constructive meeting with President Trump.
Very good.
This is so stupid, man. Okay, I asked this. This is Super Grok. How many doctors in Canada could be hired with $2.5 billion? With $2.5 billion Canadian. And by the way, I'm just assuming that the money we're giving Ukraine is Canadian. I don't, like, it could be USD, but I'll just assume it's Canadian. It says, like, I mean, this is obviously just gonna be a crazy rough estimate. I don't know if this would include like, if there's like room in a hospital and things like that, but still, these numbers aren't going to be totally off. 6,500, family physicians 7,700, higher paid specialists closer to 5,500 to 6,000. So even if it's like, even if, I don't know, you factor in other costs, I don't know if this answer did, but say it's 5,000. You don't think 5,000 doctors in Canada would make a big difference to people's lives here? Yet we just give it to Ukraine, who has shown, I would argue, like almost no willingness to end their war. It seems like Ukraine, they're always, the propaganda when he says that there, oh, we got to stand up to Putin. They're crazy attacks on us. Like, that's just the way it happened. Like Russia, I probably would be on like Ukraine's side overall in the war if they weren't going around asking for everybody's money. Putin doesn't go around and do this. Again, like, I don't think what Putin did is the right thing, but what is the point of all, like, every other country has to be involved in financing this war that Ukraine, I think, should have ended years ago. Like, you're just going to have to give up some land. I'm not an expert on war, but give me a fucking break. Like, if someone, for example, if Russia invaded Canada and we were not in NATO and they wanted to take like a chunk of, I don't know, Manitoba or British Columbia or the East Coast or whatever, I'm like, I maybe would classify as a military age man. I don't know. I don't want to go die for that. What, like, do you? That's just a real question that I'll ask here. If you're watching this, or maybe you're a little bit older, like, do you want your sons or your daughters, mostly your sons, to go die in a ditch for like a little chunk of land? I mean, I know that Canada is in NATO and things like that, but this could, in theory, happen to any country, I guess, like if things change in the world. So, like, why can't Ukraine just sucks, but Russia's the stronger country. So We got to include all these other freaking. This just really pisses me off in so many different ways. And I'll play this quickly just to showcase that an Edmonton father dies in the ER.
Okay, now bringing the focus back here to Canada. The family of a 44-year-old man in Edmonton is demanding answers today after he died in an emergency waiting room area. He had gone to the hospital complaining of chest.
So I've done a couple of videos on this. I'll finish my video here, but come on. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.